Hello there, welcome to Critic AL Reviews. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the 2023 Netflix movie Blood and Gold. Well, colour me surprised. Netflix delivers once more. After the pleasant treat that was The Highwayman, this time we have something distinctly more action-packed. 2023's Blood and Gold is all about one man versus a load of German soldiers trying to protect a stash of gold. Hang on, is this Sisu? Well, not quite. For a start, this one's from the Germans, not a Norwegian studio. And although it's set at the end of World War II and involves gold and Nazis, this is actually a long way from Sisu, with the indestructible one-man army up against an actual army and the ridiculously over-the-top bombastic action that Norwegian film featured. Blood and Gold is more intimate and in your face. It's more believable and grounded. Like Sisu, however, it has a distinctly spaghetti western vibe to it and plenty of action. Unlike Sisu, it has more fleshed out characters and no small amount of tragic moments. So, a quick summary of the plot. It is the latter days of World War II. Private Heinrich has deserted the German army and is headed home to find his daughter in the ruins of Bremen. Before he gets there though, he is caught by his unit and left hanging for dead, mocked by his sadistic sergeant. Heinrich is rescued by a sympathetic German woman, Elsa, who lives on a nearby farm, protecting her mentally disabled brother from the Nazi death squads, as let's face it, he is far from an example of the perfection of the Aryan master race. As Heinrich recovers, he will again come up against his former comrades as they target a small town looking for rumoured Jewish gold. Blood and gold will indeed be shed in varying amounts before the final brutal climax. There's something about the final few days of the German Third Reich that is extremely compelling from a cinematic point of view. Downfall, Jojo Rabbit, Sisu, and now Blood and Gold all tackle this time where the Wehrmacht are retreating, facing certain defeat and pillaging and burning as much as they can on the way out, looking out for themselves and no one else. Blood and Gold puts an entirely German perspective on proceedings, as you would expect, with the hero actually being a Nazi soldier, but it certainly doesn't shy away from portraying the other members of his unit as ruthless and cruel, although there are some that are obviously just following their sergeant's orders, and the orders of the SS officer von Starnfeld, who hides some spectacularly gruesome facial injuries under a mask. On that, is it mandatory for Gestapo members to wear glasses? I kind of feel it's part of their trench coat chic. Anyway, this bespectacled individual is certainly morally and physically repugnant, but the main nemesis for Heinrich is actually his former sergeant, who commits his own share of atrocities throughout the film. The action is visceral and well presented, and there is plenty of it, unlike another World War II set film that I have just reviewed called The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Using mostly practical effects, it looks great and is well directed. Certainly it comes across as more of an action film than a war film, closer to Die Hard than Saving Private Ryan. The only combat is Heinrich against his former comrades in a series of desperate one against many fights. What there is in this film is plenty of tension, pathos, characters you are invested in, shocking moments, and lots of brutal action. In fact, the latter half of the movie is nothing more than our hero up against it, trying to stay alive while working his way through a staggering amount of Nazis. Though some other characters crop up, such as the obligatory priest defending his church, the narrative is mainly focused on Heinrich, with Elsa as a support. There is more than a touch of Tarantino to affairs too, from the opening titles to the spaghetti western feel of the film, complete with standoff-style shootouts. There's certainly a vague feeling of Inglourious Basterds meets For a Few Dollars More, or something of that ilk. It's smooth and competent and exciting, and it's darkly humorous at times. Despite all of this though, the tone is well balanced and cohesive. It feels like a whole product rather than bits of something else. Something else that I'd like to draw attention to is the music in the film, from the evocative if unspectacular score to the songs in the movie, which are sung in German, all apart from a haunting rendition of Where Have All the Young Men Gone, which is bilingual with both German and English verses. The German language of the music adds a melancholy to the film and adds to the air of beaten despair and the ambience of a people that have been long suffering, now at the end of their endurance, having witnessed the complete failure and devastation of their motherland and now persecuted by their own soldiery. The town is in ruins, and its populace, quite apart from the cruelty inflicted on them by the Nazis, await the arrival of the invading American forces with a solemn, resigned finality. I wouldn't say that it's exactly nuanced, nothing in this film is really, but it is a nice touch, nonetheless. So, overall, what I can say about Blood and Gold is that I really enjoyed it. Watching Nazis being bumped off is always a good time, especially the particularly despicable ones. There's no deep message, no grand scheme here, it just delivers what it promises. Blood and gold. And I cannot see a great deal wrong with that. Thanks for watching. I've been Critic AL. I'll be back with another movie review soon.